So,
All right.
yeah. So you ready to get started?
Sure.
All right. So, hi, welcome, Wes, to my webinar for the Time Savvy Freelancer. This is basically your opportunity to learn more about maintaining balance and better use of your time, efficiency, effectiveness, while still maintaining a freelance career. I know what you do. And if there were more people, I would say, hey, type what city you're from
Mhm.
and what your role is and what challenges you have with time management. But since it's just you and me, how about you share with me challenges that you face with time management?
Uh, I really feel like my biggest challenge when it comes to time management is finding time to practice effectively.
Sure.
Because a lot of what I'm doing, especially I feel just for being a brass player, is
Hmm.
I'm maintaining the muscles. I'm not growing or hello cat or anything else. I'm just like stagnant because I'm not putting
Hmm.
the time into the correct things. I'm just trying to not lose things.
Right. It's just about the maintenance factor, but not necessarily like the creativity or the innovation. You're just trying to sustain what you have.
Hmm.
Gotcha. Hey, Holly, welcome. Is she there?
In chat.
Oh, she is. Okay. This is why I am silly about this. She's eating dinner. Welcome. Hey, Holly, tell us a little bit about like a little icebreaker, what you do, where you are, and your challenges that you face with time management. We're dying to know. And while you go ahead and type that up, um, I will go ahead and introduce myself since the both of you already know me. My name is Jarrett Bastow. I am the founder and owner of Opus Freelance Music Coaching. As both of you know, on different levels and different situations in our journeys, I am a musician. I gig within an 8 hour radius of the city of Houston. I am a Suzuki trained teacher, both on cello and bass. Yes, I am bisectional. And yes, I do clinic in the schools as well. Wes, you are one of my colleagues and partners out there in Houston. And I've started this business mostly because I think many of us come from a place of deep rooted sense of confusion when they leave college or a sense of like resentment maybe where they leave college and they say I don't have all the skills necessary to get a job because we're trained to be in the practice room for hours upon hours on end. We're trained to be in the schools learning how to teach and using basic theories and methodologies and what have you, but is that really enough? And so one of the things that I think most college graduates should have when they walk away is making sure that they have the tools necessary to be their own business and to be their own freelancer. So that is why I've designed the business I have designed. And without further ado, let's keep going. So I want to go ahead and dive into this roadmap. Hey, Holly, cool. Before we dive into the roadmap, I'd love to hear what Holly has to say. I work as a part-time learning programs coordinator at the Symphony in Cincinnati, but I am also a music teacher. I teach within the public schools. I'm hired by different programs that, yeah. So, I mean, you both are educators and you both know what's necessary to be able to manage your time, both in the classroom, out of the classroom, digging into your own personal health and wellness, making sure that you find a way to prevent burnout, all those kinds of variables that are necessary for the longevity of your freelance career. So, if you don't mind, let's go ahead and dive into the roadmap. And after having introduced myself and each other, so what we're going to talk about today is we're going to talk about structuring your day for peak efficiency. We're also going to talk about practical task management systems that actually work, how to prevent burnout, and tools to keep you organized and focused as well as balanced. Aha, let's hear your challenge, Holly. Going to a lot of places every day, all the time. Time at the end of the day for personal creativity and practice, but also need rest. Yes, the health and wellness balance, but also keeping up with your creativity and innovation. Very poignant for a lot of freelancers, for sure, especially if it's like a paycheck to paycheck, but also you need to ensure that you yourself feel valued at the end of the day, whatever means necessary. So I relate to you, and I assume Wes also relates to you in some capacity. Let's go on. Let's talk about structuring your day for peak efficiency. One of the key principles to improve efficiency is to learn how to time block and energy map. Time blocking is about scheduling specific periods of your day for specific tasks, but there's also another layer that one needs to consider. Oh, sorry. There's one that needs to consider, and that is energy mapping, mapping your energy levels altogether, because not all tasks should be done all the same time, all in the same day, because we're one human. We don't have the agency to expand outward to just say, hey, do this for me. Maybe you are at that point. If you are, perfect, but otherwise, I mean, we're sole proprietors. We're constantly on our own, and we have to navigate which task is more important over the other, while still making sure that we maintain a little bit of our energy back. So for example, is anybody here a morning person? You can raise your hand as a participant, if you will, with the raise the hand button. Okay.
I don't
I
know where the button is.
Oh, there should be a little
It'll be here
reaction.
somewhere.
Yeah, but are
I know
you?
I've used it before, but
Oh, you both are morning
yes,
people.
yes,
Well, la
morning
di
person.
da. Perfect. Perfect. So that puts me as the weird night owl. That's totally fine. I mean, everybody's unique. And this gets back to like, can I check and lower Holly's hand? Yes, I can. Okay, cool. I figured it out. Still learning Zoom. Um, everybody's unique as freelancers, and not one size fits all. And I'm going to say that from here on out on every single webinar that I offer, is that everybody has their own journey and their own path. And that includes their basic uh, times of focus that they're going to be at critical mass. So if you go ahead and you click on your time blocking, I'm just going to go ahead and remove this so that we can see it in full. The time blocking and energy mapping template, you will see that there are ways for you to denote where your energy level is typically at the morning or the midday or the afternoon or even the evening, but also like your levels of focus and mood surrounding that period of time. And that will allow you to then decide to schedule out how you see and best view your time with specific tasks based off of your functionality in a given day. And I specifically went all the way to 12 just because, well, like I said, I'm a night owl. So if I were to go ahead and give my example, for instance, I'm sort of at a medium to high. I'll admit I'm kind of like an all purpose, all hours of the day kind of person. So, medium to high, I'm usually like deep in my creative thought, or I'm giving my admin thought to things because it's simple, it's easy, and it's out. Whereas sometime in the midday, that's when I'm going to probably practice, or I'm going to move forward and try to have students in at that time so that there's the opportunity to be a little bit more expressive with those individuals who need that sort of innovation. But of course, like most of us who are morning people, it gets a little bit dipped by the afternoon and the evening, especially if you've had a long day, like the both of you, where you're out in the schools and you're trying to inspire lives every single day, or you're traveling like Holly does. Um, it's just one of those things where naturally your energies begin to dip. So that's where I try to have even more tasks that are sort of mind numbing as my focal point during those parts of the day. And you too can create a blocked schedule for yourself, hour per hour, half hour per half hour, maybe 2 hours at a time, whatever it needs to be for you. Because again, it's not a one size fits all, where you see yourself being sort of just this machine for yourself at your best energy level for a given task. And you all, by the way, can just copy any of these templates that you have in front of you. It's not the end of the world. I'm not going to find you afterward. It's totally yours. It's all free. So that is my example of my time blocking and energy map. Um, so feel free to drop your thoughts on how you typically structure your day in the chat, if you will, or you can talk amongst yourselves.
Well, I mean, I try to practice in the morning before my students get to school.
Yeah.
But by that time, I've already been up for like 3 hours, usually by the time I get to school, 2 or 3.
Mm,
So I've already gotten past the wake up stage and all that.
right.
But it's also circumstantial depending on how busy it is at school, just because emails or what events we're doing and et cetera, the ever changing
Sure.
daily life. Um, I also do try to practice in my planning period, but that's
Mhm.
very hit and miss.
Right. Yeah. I mean, anything can happen. And that's just it, though, is that it doesn't have to be so fixed. That's the
Right.
beautiful thing about scheduling is that, it's case by case. You never know what's going to happen. You might find yourself, I hate to be worst case scenario kind of guy, but say you're on I-10 and there's a fleet of traffic and you can't get to your scheduled time. Okay, you figure it out. You just make whatever works best for you, or you have a student that stays with you for an endless period of time because they need that emotional support from you. Okay, so I mean, you devote your time to them and then you make time for yourself after. But the
Mhm.
question becomes, when do you find that stage of potential burnout from that? And we'll talk about that later. Holly, do you have any thoughts on how you structure your day that you'd like to share? I see a chant. I see a
I
chant.
hear that the kids kind of choose for me a lot of times.
I see. Got it. Yeah. So, Holly, if you had it your way, what would you find to be the most ideal sketch day? And I'm going to show the prompt just so that you can see whatever the class period is, wherever I see. Yeah. So you have the opposite where it's like super fixed and you have what you have at that time. And then after that, it's just fine, done, next thing. I see. Yeah, dot, dot, dot. The struggle is real, isn't it? Yes. So I'm going to go ahead and show my ideal sketch prompt here. So this literally dives into the question that I just shared with Holly, which is if I had my own schedule, sorry, go away, the joys of an iPad. Give me just a moment. So if I had control of my own schedule, what would I want for myself and the task oriented with it? So, what would be your ideal day if you had it your way, everybody?
I think I would still keep my morning practice and then just have normal school where nobody had any problems ever and
Mm-hmm.
everyone knew how to play their instruments the right way.
Mm-hmm.
Then rehearsal after school. I do miss. I did find out the other day when I went to that Sinfonietta rehearsal that I miss rehearsing and stuff
Mm.
because
Creative
I'm just
outlet.
like we had spoken before. I'm not gigging or performing as much as I used to, although it's not on trumpet, so it's different. Uh,
Right.
but I do miss it. But at the same time, I have trouble staying up past 9 now, and rehearsal
Mm.
ends at like 9:30 usually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that can be
So
tough.
yeah, it's just an adjustment too, because gosh, it's a while ago now. I used to play in 7 groups every week. And
Oh,
yeah, it was different version of me. Now I can't stay up anymore.
no kidding. Yeah, that's another life.
Yeah.
Holly, what about you? What would be your ideal day? Hope you have something delicious over there. My ideal day would be like Longer periods of time at certain locations, all private teaching consolidated to 1 to 2 days and short time blocks, more time at the end of the day, less random breaks. Ah, yes, consolidation. Yes. The puzzle piece of trying to schedule your time with so many partners and so many students and just trying to conglomerate it into one so that you have your time back. I get that. I get that. So I'm going to share with you my typical time that I would devote for myself as well. If I can eventually learn how to do this right. Ah, there we go. So I would typically wake up rather early, a little groggy, but nonetheless, I would wake up early. I would try to find a way to just check in with myself, whatever that may be. I do some light admin work here and there, practice focus. That would be the most ideal if I could actually touch my instrument and like really go to town with it. That's usually later whenever I'm dealing with students and I scare them with 3 octave scales. Midday, I could see myself doing virtual lessons during the day, eating a short lunch, walking around, finding gig clinic opportunities. And if I'm at home working on larger projects like what I'm doing right now for certain clinician opportunities, or even making my webinar outlines for the foreseeable future, or just building curricula, whatever that may be. Typically, the afternoon and evening are when I am in full mode if I'm in the freelance environment, like going out to gigs or teaching students on a virtual basis or what have you. But if it's not, you bet I will be with my husband watching Survivor. I want to devote that time to him whenever I can, but also when he's asleep going for the next shift the following day. That's also another opportunity to do more admin work where it's super autopilot for me. So that would be an ideal time sketch for myself. And then again, these are all available to both of you. So if you wanted to literally take any of the text here, it's totally up to you. So let's talk about practical task management systems. So practical task management systems, it's a powerful technique that I want to talk about is batching, where a group of similar tasks are put together and you work on them in focused blocks of time. You combine that with the Pomodoro technique, which is where you work for 25 straight minutes, really, really focused 5 minute intervals. And then you follow up with that with a 5 minute break. And it not only helps you with your focus, but it also prevents burnout later. Um, if you don't mind, if you both could write in the chat, or Wes, you could speak, can you write down one early sign of burnout that you've experienced recently?
Uh, Not finding as much enjoyment in things.
Fair. Mm-hmm.
And I
And
actually think my having trouble staying up is maybe linked to that as well, because I'm
sure,
just so exhausted from things that used to be easy.
I see. Yeah, it's just
Mhm.
the grind and knowing that you're doing the same routine daily but asking yourself like what is it all for kind of deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, energy feelings, I get it. Holly, what about you? I see an exclamation point. Tell me more. Maybe just procrastination. Oh, okay. So what leads you to that, if you don't mind me asking, before I dive into the templates? Again, you better be eating something really good over there. As you can hear, I'm with my host family and they're sizzling something, and I'm super curious about it. Okay, homemade Chipotle bowl. Get it. So, procrastination. Tell me a little bit more about your signs of it. Just lack of energy. Okay. Sounds like some things that we can all work out is again blocking our time and then assessing with the time like where does that land with our energy levels and how do they align. um I mean, I'm just as guilty of it, so it's not something that I'm a perfectionist at, but it's something that we're all learning and growing together. So I'm going to go ahead and share this. No, that's not it. Oh no. Let me go ahead and find the actual thing that I was trying to show y'all. This is what I wanted to show you. Can we all see this? Wes, can you answer yes or no?
Yeah.
Super. All right. So the task batching template, this is essentially just organizing tasks by category to reduce your mental switching and increased focus. So you would separate each task by, or excuse me, each batch with like your period of rest, your period of admin, your period of creativity, etc. And then you can use 25-minute sprints using the Pomodoro technique tracker to then go head on with any of your tasks at hand with full attention and focus, and marking complete or not complete in any notes that you find along the way. A great example that I have available is here. So, creative work, my teaching, my coaching, my admin work, my practicing, my outreach, and my marketing, and of course, rest and recharge. You'll see the frequency for which I want to do all of these things, as well as the time of day, again, that is most optimal for me, and the tasks that are associated with the batch category that exists. So for me, my creativity is not only just in my bass playing, but like my opportunity to develop digital content or transcribing music, maybe even coming up with really perky posts for social media, like Wisdom Wednesday for my clinician services or Fun Fact Friday for Opus freelance musician coaching, music coaching, excuse me, but also teaching and coaching is a very different mindset, but for me altogether. So I treat that as, having one-on-one conversations with people as a separate batch. Back end work like admin and emailing systems or invoicings or communications or follow-ups, what have you, it's its own separate batch. Again, practicing and outreach and marketing, but of course I have to devote some rest and recharge. I'm not 24-hour pony that's just constantly going like the Energizer Bunny. I have to eventually reset my batteries. So that allows me to really separate what batches I need to focus on when and how often I should focus on them. And then the Pomodoro technique tracker, you have the ability to set 5-minute sprints for yourself, allow yourself to adjust for the specific time that you have. Um, 25-minute sprints with a 5-minute break. So, if I wanted to really just go really focus on a 25-minute tasks, for instance, I have my cellothon and my bass off activities coming off in June. I know I need to start writing up an event page for it, or I need to start doing video work. I'm going to devote 25 minutes to that, give myself a 5-minute break, go on to the next thing. And that would be designing a flyer. And then the next thing after that, responding to teaching scheduled emails, practicing for this very gig, for instance, category 4, having a little bit of a 30-minute reset break so that I can center back. And then at the end of the day, I focus on one more task and then the process continues so that I have that moment of reset for myself. Does anybody have any thoughts on these? I can also share the links on the chat as well, just so that you have it available for yourselves. Any thoughts on anything we've covered so far?
It looks good. I just have trouble like scheduling in the breaks.
Yeah, I think that's the most challenging thing for ourselves because there's a million things that we know we need to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's for me, I have found that if I don't, I'm crabbier. And let's just say others don't want to be around me when that happens. So I have to ask myself, okay, does Krabby Jarrett come out or do I need to take a break?
Mhm. My kids have called me out on that too. Like when I intentionally skip lunch, they'll be like, "Mr. Smith, you're getting hangry. Go
Yeah.
eat something."
Yeah. I mean, students or others, they will not lie to you. They will absolutely be candid with you and say, you need to just kick back and chill, or you need
Yeah.
to give yourself like 10 minutes to just take a break. Did I provide my example or the template? I'm sorry.
Let's see.
I think I provided both.
Template is the first one.
And template is the second one.
The second one is
Oh,
template.
but, oh, they're both template. Okay. Holly, do you have any thoughts on how things are for your time management based off of how you how you batch your tasks or how you map your energies after listening to some of this? Cool. If you were to try the batching today, what would you do to batch? Like, what would be your categories? Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. If I were to show you both my calendar, I think it would maybe blow your mind, which I'll just text you individually so that,
Hmm.
the world doesn't have to see my crazy, outlandish, colorful calendar.
You've shown me at school before. It's a lot.
Yeah, it's definitely a little too organized, in my opinion, sometimes. Probably batched by organization. Yeah, that's fair. How many are you involved with, if you don't mind me asking? It's okay. You don't have to answer. Oh, six. Yeah, I would say that definitely checks out in terms of organizing by organization. That way, you know how to devote your energy a little bit better for that, but also, your frequency, the time of day that you're regularly going to be visiting with them. I think that would be very efficient for your time for sure and super organized. All right, y'all, let's talk about burnout and prevention strategies because a big reason for me deciding to venture outward from freelancing to go into administration and then back, I'll admit a lot of it was burnout. And we all probably have gone through it once, whether it be with music or with non musical journeys or what have you. Like it's a part of not seeing the warning signs, but also not allowing ourselves to reset. So, to think about burnout, it's a challenge, of course, and especially for our people, freelancers. So there are warning signs, as I mentioned. And if you click on the template, this includes feeling overwhelmed. Oh, you ready for this, Holly? Procrastination or struggling with motivation. So, one of the best ways to fight burnout is by using the 30-minute checklist that you also have available to you, or simply stepping away from the workspace to just refresh your mind. So, for Wes, I think maybe you just need to, after class, just completely turn the lights off if you have to and just breathe or something to that effect. Maybe I'm speaking for you, but I'm sure you have another tactic for yourself.
Well, I will say that I have gotten better like this year specifically about disengaging from work when I get home.
Yeah, yeah.
But unfortunately, that also has turned into disengaging from music in general,
That
which I'm
balance.
not a huge fan of, but the literal work-life balance is better.
That's good. There's
It's
some
like,
improvement.
yes.
Yeah. Holly, what causes you burnout or signs or things that you notice?
Are we supposed to have all the check marks in that or
Oh
no?
goodness, no, 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 no. So I mean, I at one point had five. I think it was five, which is when I did the example. Weeks with less downtime, I think. Yep, yep. No reset for yourself. No, whatchamacallit, no reset button, if you will. Right. So again, going back to my Energizer Bunny analogy, just keeps going, but at a certain point, that bunny is probably gonna lose it. So you'll see that there's different ways to assess whether or not you need to just consider a reset. And I mean, even if you do have three or more, is it the end of the world? No, absolutely not, because we're human and we're allowed to give ourselves that opportunity to sit back, assess ourselves, and say, you know, I need me time. And no one can tell you that's a bad thing. It's us who typically does. And it's up to us to say, that's okay. And that is one of the hardest lessons I think I've had to learn throughout my journey was to say, it's okay that I'm burnt out. Now I have to do something about it. So there's a couple of 30-minute reset checklists that you can do for yourself. There's, of course, deep breathing and meditation. I'm the kind of person that needs to brain dump. I'm super analytical and logical and just need to like get facts out there into the universe. In fact, my coach recently shared with me that I need to have an introspection period in order for me to just do a little bit of a recap of where am I with things, what needs to slow down, what needs to speed up, but also where am I in all of that, as opposed to the actual actions of doing things or the actual automation of seeing things roll. Where am I? For me, and my husband knows me so well, whenever I get so overly frantic with activities or I'm developing a migraine headache or something to that effect, he will always say something to the effect of, Jarrett, you need to climb. And he knows I'm a rock climber. He knows that it's my zen is being not only climbing walls and going 60 feet in the air, but also the community of people there are not similar minded, but they are collaborative and they want to work together, and it fits my personality. So finding those outlets also are gravely beneficial. um, and then for focus, for me, it's always about, okay, what's today? What tasks do I have lined up today? For example, I knew that I had to have a conversation with my lender for the possibility of buying a home in Dallas, for instance. Um, Thinking about my teaching plan for what I have going on today with this webinar, for instance. Like, what do I want to have for all of you as the reward at the end of the day when leaving this webinar? Or, asking myself, what is left of my curriculum to have available for my incoming clients? Those are my focuses. And then after that, it's kind of just like a bonus of, did I accomplish it? Great. Now what? And do I have downtime for myself? Yes, I do. In fact, after this webinar, I'm devoting that hour that I have available to me to just do some scales before I go to this rehearsal, for instance. So, does anybody have any sort of reset tasks that they give themselves? Not tasks, but reset options that they offer for themselves?
I think the closest thing I have right now is reading. I've found a series that I've really been enjoying, and unfortunately, I'm on the last published book right now. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
but that's been really fun for me. It used to
Nice.
be practicing though. Like it was practicing was my recharge for a very long time, and I kind of feel like it still is, but not
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah. I wouldn't force anything. If reading is it, reading's it. You know, it's all good. Oh, and I forgot to mention about the reflection box. So, this is also a good opportunity to ask yourself, what do I need to do more of for myself in that given week so that I find that balance? And again, it goes back to just having that decompression time for myself because I wear many hats, just like the both of you wear many hats. You wear many roles and responsibilities wherever you are, that sometimes we just need to find who is Wes, who is Holly, who is Jarrett. Right. This is who we are. Holly, what about you? Man, if I could do nothing well, my goodness. What's a good thing to plan with friends, if you don't mind me asking? Anything fun? Gotcha. Gotcha. Maybe like taking a walk or trying to find a coffee shop, eating Chipotle bowls. Oh, cool. Yeah, outgoing opportunities for sure. Nice. Nice. So that dives into burnout prevention strategies. Uh, our final topic of discussion are tools to stay organized. So this is where I had to learn very quickly into the freelance world, and I'm sure the both of you have as well, where you are your own vessel of organization and no one dictates what to do but you. And so it's one of those things where you have to be either super organized and take things as they come, or you have to be super rigid to the point where nothing else is available to you. So for me, to stay organized and focused, time audits are incredibly helpful. Has anybody ever used a time audit here? You've not, Holly. Okay. What about you, Wes?
Nope.
Okay. So let's take a look at what the time audit actually is. So you're tracking exactly where time goes for a week or so. So you have to ask yourself, um, is it going to be essential what you have to do? Is it important what you have to do? Or is it a true distraction of what you do on a given day? So, again, this goes into how you feel about it, the notes that you've learned, and what surprised you about how you spend your time. So, this again goes into like the rigidity versus just like taking things as they come. So, for me, my visual example, that is not it. Give me just a moment. There we go. So again, in the early times, it can be sometimes a little distracting, especially as I wake up. But again, essentially, you have to eat. Essentially, you have to sleep. Essentially, you have to go to work. Essential, you have to check in with, you know, your circle, whomever, or you check in with your community or the students that you serve or your teacher colleagues that you have to partner with, etc. And then, of course, there's always going through YouTube, or there's going through Facebook, or trying to prepare for the next coming things. They're important, but they're not your absolute I need to be doing this on a daily basis kind of thing. They're just things in your future. So that is what this blocks out, and also gives a little bit of the notes for how I discern either the essential, the important, or the distractions. And what I've learned is that I didn't realize how much screen time I know that I do. And it's even worse when I'm on the phone. Don't tell anybody, even though it's recorded. That, it's a huge distraction and it sucks away time. And I think we're all guilty of it, where, we've learned over time, like the true distractions are the wild amounts of intrinsic and extrinsic motivational factors, such as scrolling through your phone or going to shop with a friend or what have you, or to go to see a concert that you're going in support of somebody else, etc. So there's any variable that's out there, but for me it's scrolling through the phone. Awful at it, especially with all the things I do and try to organize all that. and how I want to shift my focus. One of the things that was recommended to me, and I've actually tried it, was using an app timer so that eventually it would stop the app from functioning at a certain period. And the only way to do it is if I would have like a security code from somebody else, which is a little extreme, but it allows me to focus on my work at any given moment. Does anybody have any thoughts on how they could see themselves using this?
I just think it would improve productivity overall if you could like if you analyze what you're actually doing each day.
Mm-hmm,
It makes sense to be able to use it for productivity.
for sure. And Holly, what about you?
I think I would also have the same realization about screen time.
Yeah, yeah. I have to be so
I,
honest about it. Even the first day would probably make me more productive. Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's not a one size fits all. I'll continue to say that till I'm blue in the face. You know, everybody's different. But yeah, especially the first couple days, you know, over time, you may build the habit, you may not. So then you reevaluate and you ask yourself, what's going to be best for me? Again, everybody's different. Um, let's talk about productivity tips. So, with productivity tips, this will help keep you balanced. This will help taking micro breaks as well as setting up workplaces or workspace that minimizes distractions. So, the productivity tips, I think we can all see it. If not, feel free to let me know. I think I can do this. The world of the iPad, I love it. So, your weekly focus, what's one thing that you want to make your major progress on, and the big three tasks associated with it, as well as the time protection strategy that you have in mind. When will I block time to focus on this work, etc. So, you'll also have your distraction busters, which I think Wes and I can both agree we're scrollers on our phone, and it's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. There's no guilt tripping. It's just a matter of fact. And maybe we need to put an app blocker on there so that we can be more productive. So that's also the opportunity to give yourself some productivity boosters to motivate you, whether you want to write it down, whether you want to utter it back to yourself when you wake up or when you're on your way out the door about to start your day. It's just your opportunity to set the stage for yourself. And so I'm going to go ahead and share mine. So one of the big focuses for my week was to finalize my cellophon and bass off materials and automate participant email system. So the big three tasks associated with it is I have to record and upload video demonstrations for all event and levels, write a scheduled application, so that I can get confirmation of emails. I can prepare and test Zoom links for the June sessions. So those are my three big tasks that I have coming up next week, because the deadline to have it available for teachers is May 1 for registration and having the demonstrations to get the students excited about wanting to register for my activities in June. So I know big distraction blockers, you're looking at it, it's my phone. Capping off on private lessons to no more than 4 per day. That'd be ideal. Using the Pomodoro timer to really stay focused on a system at a time, and set my phone to do not disturb, which I know I need to do better with. So then, of course, the productivity boosters that I put down would be I'll start each day with a 5-minute plane or a planning period, review my calendar and my energy map each day, start and end each day by asking what worked and what didn't work, because I'm a man of, again, logic and theory. And so I think, like the scientific method, I got to think, okay, what worked? How do I retest the hypothesis? How do I make this more operational and sound for me? I will schedule 15-minute movement or snack breaks because, first off, my chiropractor recommends it. Second off, I mean, you can't just be a vegetable for so long until you eventually just need to get a little vitamin D and walk around. Or for me, I need a protein bar, or maybe it's my opportunity to go out into the world and just see something other than the television in front of me. And then I'll celebrate, of course, the small wins because that's how you continue to motivate yourself is by saying, I did this today. I should celebrate by just saying, you know what? Cool. Now on to the next for the next day. So that's my productivity tips. Does anybody have any thoughts on this? That's not it. Lesser Holly?
Nothing really to add. Something that kind of works for me for social media stuff.
Yeah.
I move where the app is on my phone, so I would have to genuinely search for it to
Mm.
to get to it.
Oh, that's smart. I never thought about that.
I replaced it with Pokemon Go because I'm okay with playing Pokemon Go because there's like a cap to how much stuff shows up around. So that'll have a time cap because it won't be entertaining anymore after a minute or so.
It's so true. I'll never forget when it first came out. I was so obsessed with it to the point where like work zero priority, especially over the summer when it had come out.
Yep.
And then slowly but surely reality set in and it's like, oh, okay, time to put you on the back burner a little bit.
Yeah.
Ms. Holly, what about you? I think she's probably typing. About to be yep. No additional thoughts or questions. This is good advice. Cool. Glad I could help. All right, y'all. So that concludes the big portion of our discussion about being the time savvy freelancer and some tools and helpful hints of how to be more effective and efficient with your time. As you know, I am a coach. I am offering a discount right now for now until May 1 for half off for the first 2 months of having membership. So this would include having one-on-one coachings with me, attending group classes. I just finished my online curriculum for both programs, Opus Autonomous, which is tailored to the collegiate and or emerging freelancers, as well as Opus Liberatus, which is tailored to those who are in the freelancing industry looking to automate and or build agency around their businesses. I will also have templates. There's a private Facebook group that I know that I think both of you are on. It's the Opus Prospect Portal, where I can share additional information there exclusively to those members. Um, Actually, no, I'm sorry, that's for the prospects. There's a specific autonomous and liberatus group that is available to those audiences. And it's just general accountability and additional training for your work that you do, the good work that you do to serve others or yourselves in the craft of music. So, are there any questions or anything that you wanted to add to the discussion about time management as a freelance musician?
Not about time management, but I have another one if you want.
Yeah, hit me.
How do you approach it when playing your primary instrument becomes a chore?
That's a good question. So, in those moments when I feel like my primary instrument becomes a chore, I do sometimes have to reset and ask myself, is this what I want it to be, a chore for whatever duration that might be? But then maybe I hear a recording of something that's really inspiring to me on that primary instrument. I say, maybe I want to play it on my primary instrument. And then I give it a whirl. And then suddenly I'm in this like state of euphoria where I kind of just dive the deep end and say, okay, maybe I want to just recap Bach all over again. Or maybe it's time that I finally learn the Bottesini. And then I do this little deep dive. Um, One of the things that I said to myself, and I'm sorry if I'm just going off on a story like this. One of the things I said to myself, and Holly, I know you can preach about this. There is not enough representation of bass etudes out there for recordings. And I think it is time that there are more recordings available for those etudes, but also as Holly knows, and I believe Wes, you've seen my face or my website as well. There's just not enough recordings of the Suzuki literature out there that needs to be seen and heard. And for an analytical mind like myself, that tailors perfectly to me. So I think finding the right fit for your personality also helps in navigating the matter of how do I spark that creativity again if that's what I really want. Does that make sense? Did I cover that?
Yeah, it's kind of like just diving in to find your inspiration again.
Right. Diving into finding your inspiration, but also making it unique to yourself. Like what gives you that spark of curiosity rather
Mhm.
than just, I have to do it because.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Holly?
She has in the chat.
Oh, shoot. Thank you. Did you ever reach a point in your career where you felt too busy? How did you scale back if you did? Oh my goodness. When I felt too busy, oh, I can recall of it to the day. So, my first year as the personnel manager for the Tulsa Symphony was also when I was experiencing my seventh year as the personnel manager for the Symphony Northwest Arkansas, while also handling the matters of tackling on the education and community engagement director, TSO, simultaneously, all in the same time, all while teaching a studio and trying to perform the work. And I'll admit, there came a point when I had a breaking point and I said, I can't handle it all. And you know what? I made a selfish decision in saying that I needed to just back away from one of those activities. And it was a hard reality. But what that did for me was it showed me that I crossed my own boundaries and I crossed my own limit. And it's good to know that now, especially as I have control of my own situation. Whereas back then, I don't think I really did. I didn't know how to. It takes those kinds of experiences to really soak up the good and the bad to then ask yourself, what could I have done better? Could I have done anything better? How could I have avoided it? How could I have um, overcome it? Or in my case, how could I walk away from it? And again, everybody has a different route that they choose to take, but it's a matter of how you rebound from it. Does that cover your question? Cool. Um, Wes, do you have any more? Or Holly, do you have any more? Because I can give you all questions.
I don't have anything off the top of my head, no.
Holly, all right. I'm gonna hit you both with more questions. Um, how do you handle days when your energy levels don't match your schedule?
I've been using the Nike commercial, whatever they're saying just do it.
Yeah,
Especially for like those mundane tasks that I really don't want to do, like
yeah,
dishes, cat litter boxes.
yeah,
Really, you just it's the stuff that you have to do, but no one wants to do. I just tell myself that I know I'm gonna feel better about it when it's done.
yeah, for sure.
Just make myself do it whether I want to or not.
Oh yeah, those are that's a win. That's a small win. Like you can call that a small win, and it's totally kosher for you, you know? Holly, what about you? Again, the question is how do you handle days when your energy levels don't match your schedule? I guess she's feverishly typing. Yes, I agree. Sometimes I don't feel high energy enough for 25th grade beginners, but I have to be there. Yep. Putting on the mask. It's hard to do sometimes. Sometimes, though, we're the best actors just for that reason, only because of the inspiration that we have to put onto others. And I get that. And do you do anything to um give yourself a win when you're done? Reward yourself, if you will. Please say ice cream. Please say ice cream. I'm just kidding. I don't know what you're gonna say. While she's pondering up nothing, not anything specific. I will be happy to get home though.
I hear
That's a
that.
win. Yeah. Oh, totally. Yeah, fight the traffic in the inner city. I get it. Don't think it's inner city, but city in general. I have a couple more questions before I round up. Uh, okay. Burnout and balance or freelance specific challenges? Those are your two options that I'm going to ask questions from.
Freelance specific.
Okay. What part of what part of freelancing feels the hardest to manage time-wise, and why do you think that is for the two of you?
Reaching out to contacts because I'm
Oh,
very outside of school. I am very much to myself.
sure.
I don't reach out to people. I don't hang out with anyone. I just hang out with my
Okay.
cats. I got a cat right here sitting next to me.
Sure. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's fair. Is it a matter of not having it or just making the initiative to communicate?
The initiation
Yeah,
for
gotcha.
communication.
Sure. So,
It's
Holly, the question I had was what part of freelancing feels the hardest to manage time wise, and why do you think that is? So, for Wes, what helps me sometimes is if you do you email these contacts or do you call them or text
well,
them?
oddly enough, the most used platform I have for getting gigs that I have gotten has been Facebook.
Ah,
Um,
yeah.
and I don't really know how because I don't actively use Facebook. I have it so I can
Hmm.
look at Facebook Marketplace.
Sure. Yeah. 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 I
And
get
see if
you.
there's any on sale instruments so I can add to my collection.
Right.
Um,
Your artillery.
oh yeah. I just went up to 10 trumpets the other day.
Oh my gosh, if I had 10 bases, I mean, it would
I
take up a freaking bedroom.
just traded one of my trombones for a
Okay,
English cornet. That's
gotcha.
something new.
Gotcha. To answer your question, Wes, I think what helps me sometimes, I'm a set it and forget it kind of person. Sometimes when, I know I need to communicate with somebody, I craft up the email, I have it on schedule send, and I just pretend like I didn't do anything about it when really the next day it sends itself. It's kind of an automation mindset. And again, it's one of those things of if I just brain dump my thoughts on the matter, or if I have like a formal letter ready to go, I schedule send it, but I don't actually send it. It then makes me think, okay, it's going to happen. Things will end up being actionable later, just not right now,
Yeah.
so that I can spend quality time with said cat. I have four, so like they're everything to me as well. And you can build upon that as you will, or you
I think
can just, copy paste the similar email format and do the same exact process again. You do it on a time that you feel is going to be the most optimal for
mhm.
the contractor and or the contact.
Yeah.
And again, set and forget it, get that rotisserie barbecue ready.
Mhm. I think part of it's the fear of rejection too. Uh,
Sure. Mm-hmm.
as we've talked about this a little bit before.
Yeah.
But I've been pretty fortunate with the gigging that I have had so far that I just have been around the right people that would reach out to me and I didn't have to do any of the reaching out. And
Yeah.
I don't know if we talked about this part. I had a brass quintet for a good bit of time.
Oh
I
shoot.
would
Yeah.
I would reach out to different places and I would just get no replies from
Oh,
anyone.
Yeah,
And then you're just like, okay, is it me or is it them?
sure.
Or did
Yeah.
the email even send? I don't know.
There's a couple things that I can say from my own experience. And I mean, Holly, you can also chime in as well. Um, what's the worst that can happen? They say no,
Yeah.
or they stay silent. The other thing is maybe ask if there's an opportunity for you to attend an event that they are contracting, showing the sign of wanting to be involved or wanting to work with them in some way. It's that extra step, although it's a time taken away from you, but it
Mhm.
shows a level of commitment and dedication that you're willing to work with and for them, if that's something that you are open to, you know.
Mhm.
Holly, what do you think about that? She might be gone. So if that's the case, I want to thank you both for attending. I'm really happy that this went really well. I'm glad that I have participants. Thank you. Thank you all for joining. I hope you found these tips and strategies to be incredibly helpful, help you build time efficiency and balance with your freelance careers. Stay connected with me on social media. I'm gonna go ahead and have this recording available for anybody who wants to watch it again. Um, Keep me posted on your going ons. Again, half off for the first 2 months for my program, whichever it is that you decide to do. And stay tuned for next month when I give a webinar on magnetic marketing for musicians, attracting ideal clients and gigs without chasing them. Familiar. Yes. Well, thank you all very much. Hopefully, I managed my time effectively on this webinar. And I hope you all have a great rest of your Friday. Good Friday, I should say. Take
Yes,
care.
thanks. You
Thank
too.
you all.
Happy Easter coming up.
Yes, yes. Thank you. Happy Easter, Holly. Yes, I can share the links with both of you. I can, how about I share in a text message of all the folders?
Sounds
Thank
good.
you. All right. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Sure.